Hello, Internet, and hello, future me. Today, I'm going to be talking about my rules for life. This will definitely be updated and changed as, my life progresses, but this is me going to 2026. I have 13 rules written down, but I'll definitely have more, and there's definitely more I haven't thought of yet, but yeah, let's begin. This is in no particular order. Nothing's here like it's greater than the other or anything. So it's just in the order that I thought of them. You are wrong. You were wrong. You will be wrong. That's my first rule. And I wrote down an explanation. As a human, it is important to remember that we will always have wrong opinions about at least one belief that we have. It's your job as a scientist to always question your own beliefs. Think about how wrong you were about something a few years ago. Future you will think the same about current you. This one is just about making sure you just always question your beliefs. Obviously, don't go insane about it, but understand that you only believe what you believe now based on what you know, and hopefully you're learning more in the future. So yeah, my dog's going crazy. Okay. One sec. Okay, I'll have to edit that out. Alright, number 2, never trust a YouTube sponsor. Pretty simple, or a YouTuber sponsor. Just don't trust them. They're never good. They're always better than you think. They're probably a scam. Yeah, it goes for any sponsor really, but for me, I specifically put YouTuber sponsor because that's what I see the most, and that is usually what's most tempting. Next one is a Wendigoon quote. So number 3, remember kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would. Yeah, the government has done a lot of things, and they'll keep doing a lot more things, and just know that there's so many insane things that they've done and they're open about, and that means that there's even more insane things that they've done that they're not open about, and maybe you'll find out about some of them in 50 years and be like, huh, that's insane. Alright, this is a quote from me again. Number 4, on average, you will be average. However, n equals 1. So this is, let's see. Yeah, it's about how I try to approach life, and it's about just understanding that you by definition are average in most metrics, right? Like on average you will be average. So we can just look at some basics facts, height, you're probably in the average range. Weight, you're probably in the average range. I don't know what else. That's the 2 things that just came to my mind. But even on other metrics, maybe your ability to learn certain skills, you're probably in the average range. Your your emotional tolerance to certain things, your ability to handle certain situations or be tolerant to it is probably average. But anyways, that however n equals 1 is about how you are average, but when you take a sample size, there will always be people that most people are on the standard deviation, but there's some people that are on the extreme low end of that standard deviation and on the extreme high end, and you are an individual, so you will fall somewhere there, and there will be in some metric you will be on an insanely high or low scale. For me, random fun fact about me is that when I was a baby, I was born at 11 point something pounds, which is 0.0001% of heaviest babies. Just things like that, and then I think it's about just applying that to your life and understanding that, making sure that you approach life knowing that you're average on most things, but then kind of I would say trying to lean in or specialize onto those factors that make you more of an individual, and also just accepting that they make you an individual. I think that explains it, but let's move on. Number 5, prioritize the big rocks, and once those are done, then you can move the little rocks. So this quote applies to me mainly on like the fitness, like health, that kind of like scale. But I think this goes for like any aspect of life. So many people, when they get into making some change or doing something, they think they have to perfect it. They think they have to go, like, I'm gonna use a fitness example. They think they have to, get their creatine. They have to get the perfect macros. They have the perfect workout plans. They have to use specific exercises to work their, like lateral, like, let's say, like, instead of just doing like dumbbell lateral raises, you gotta do cables because there's more optimal, things like that. But in reality, what you really should do is just work on like the big rocks. So on the fitness scale, you can get like 80 to 90% of the results by just making sure you sleep 8 hours, getting a decent amount of protein. So that's like, I don't know, like 0.7 grams, I guess, or like 1 gram per pound, or centimeter of height. And then just working out to near failure, like whatever muscle group you want to like train 2 times a week. And like you don't have to do any specific exercises. You just do like compound lifts, and that's it. Like those are, and also be consistent and progressive a little bit. Sorry, and you do that, and you'll get like 80 to 90% of the results very easily. Like, well, very simply. It's not easy. It'll take time, but like then once you get all of that sorted, you can do that for like several months consistently. Then you can focus on maybe I should add in creatine. Oh, maybe I should do this specific exercise because it works better, it's more optimal, whatever, yada yada. But focus on the big rocks first. Yeah. Alright, number 6. This is another quote by me, so I'm gonna make sure. But I'm sure someone else has said it. Live with gratitude, live for love. So it's just about, I guess, your daily life. Just try to be grateful for the things you have, and yeah, like every single day, try to show gratitude for everything in your life that, I don't know, maybe wasn't there before, and even if it's always been in your life, just appreciate it. Something I'm always grateful for is, well, this water bottle, and also ice cold water. I get to drink ice cold water every day, and it's pretty awesome that I get to do that. It feels great. Second part of this quote: live for love. It's something I'm trying to work on. I guess like living with gratitude is just like the way to approach life, right? To approach your daily life. And then live for love this is what you should like strive towards, I guess, right? Like I think like my goal is in life is to just do the things I love, whatever I can, so I got my dog with me, and right now I'm just using this video to distract myself from studying. But while I'm studying, my dog's here, and like I'm not like back home often, so I'll just spend time with him because I love my dog. So I'm like, I don't know, isn't it the point of life, just to do the things you love, be with the people you love? Yeah, that, I think that explains it. All right, let's move on. Number 7, use it or lose it. Again, this applies a lot in like the fitness context. Whatever you want to be able to do, you have to just keep doing it, and then your body's like, oh, okay, we're gonna keep doing this, so I'll make sure to like keep it around. But then whatever you don't want to do, your body's just like, well, it's a waste of like memory and like muscle and like energy to be capable of doing that when we don't need to be doing that. So then you slowly lose it. And this applies also to your brain. Very important. Make sure, especially the people that are out of school watching this, to use your brain. It's very easy to get into a job and then like that mundane routine. And I've done this over like the summer as well when I would work full time, where you just go to work and then you're just so exhausted from work, and then you just stop using your brain entirely. And like, especially if you combine this with like the recreational like drug use or something, it's very easy to quite literally lose your mind, like parts of your mind, because you're just not critically thinking, right? So easy way to do this is like just like read something, like anything, and then also just learn new skills, right? Like if you have some time, just learn, I don't know, how to play an instrument. It's a pretty basic one, or random little like fun like party tricks or something. whatever, just try and use your brain. Otherwise, you will lose it. Also, it's been shown and proven that like as you get older, you can reduce your chances of just like dementia by like just using your brain instead of not using your brain by just like doing puzzles and stuff. So that too. But yeah, use it or lose it. Very simple, very easy. Yeah, cool. Number 8. When the goal is to experience everything. When the goal is to experience, comma, everything is a win. So this is, it's like an approach to life of, I think a lot of people get bummed out about a lot of different things, but that's because of our goals, right? Or let's say like, I'm trying to think. I guess like an easy example is like, you know, let's say you're talking, I'll use a somewhat personal example. Let's say like you're talking to a girl and then like they ghost you and it's like, damn, that sucks. But then also like, this might sound like insane cope, and it low-key is, but also if the goal of life is to experience everything, that feeling of just like, oh man, like that sucks, it's like a unique experience that like at some point in your life you probably won't feel anymore. You'll never get to feel anymore, right? Like let's say you get married and like hopefully, you know, it just like works out well. You'll never have that experience again of like, like I got ghosted by someone I'm interested in, and that's just like a unique feeling. So it's cool. You get to, it's like something that you experience and you get to move on from. And yeah, like there's also different things like, let's see. Oh, I use this a lot for when I'm doing like anything like long distance, like cardio or something. I've walked 2 half marathons, and the last like 8 kilometers of those half marathons where I've walked them, it's just been like, wow, everything sucks right now. Like my legs just like hurt, my shins hurt. You know, I can feel like my glute muscles hurting, which I like don't usually feel when I walk, but after, you know, walking for like, I think like 15 kilometers, you start to feel it. And it's like, and I just think, wow, like it's cool that like I can feel the sensations in my leg. And that is something that's very cool. I guess same thing applies for just like when you work out and like it gets really like, damn, like physically like you hurt, like it like hurt, not like super painful, it shouldn't be excruciatingly painful. And then yeah, different things like that, I guess. But it just makes you more appreciative of life, because like life really is just like what you perceive of it, right? Every single day, you know, objectively bad things can happen to you, but then it's just about how you decide to approach how you feel about it. Obviously feelings aren't completely in your control, but I think the goal is to try and have just being appreciative for everything. And so when the goal of your life is to experience everything is a win. That's a long, elaborate way of explaining that. Let's move on. Number 9. If you get the message, hang up the phone, by Alan W. Watts. This message is specifically talking about substances. And a lot of people will justify using certain substances, like let's say weed or like psychedelics, to say like, oh, I'm learning so much, or this gives me so much insight. But I want to say almost everyone that gets into substances like that will reach a point where they kind of get what like the message was, right? They get the idea. It's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, like, you know, maybe for them it's like, oh, I should appreciate, I don't know, certain things about my life more, or I shouldn't be as angry or resentful for people who've hurt me in my past, something like that. But then they'll keep using the substance because they just like the feeling of it rather than like the message. And this is just about like, if you get the message, hang up the phone. You know, you don't need to use the substance anymore once you get the message, because then you get into the territory of, oh, you're maybe dependent or addicted to this. And yeah. Number 10. You only ever truly fail when you give up. This is, yeah, like a lot of people think failure is possible. You know, failure is not really possible until you just completely give up on whatever you're trying to achieve. And yeah, like if, like you can get rejected from, I don't know, let's say applying to jobs 1,000 times, and that probably would suck. There's a lot of effort and time that goes into that, and you're probably doing something wrong if you get 0 interviews after 1,000 applications. But like, you know, if it's when you give up entirely, that's when you fail. Because as long as you just keep putting in the reps, something will work eventually. That's just how it works. You know, the more reps you put in, the more chances you get, the more something will eventually work out. So this is something that, as much as I believe this, I still have very much like, you know, failed because I've like given up. But I guess I still have the rest of my life to not give up, and I can always bounce back. And yeah, a lot of these rules, like, you know, as much as I preach them, it's still like difficult for me. And this is one that I do struggle with a lot. I tend to give up very easily for maybe not as much as I used, like as easy as I used to, but I can give up on a lot of my goals in life just because of some hurdle. And this is one that's really important to me. So yeah, never give up, guys. Never, because then you can't fail. Yeah, okay, cool. Number 11, quote, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." End quote. And that's by Heraclitus. Forgive me if I'm gonna butcher what the meaning of this quote is, but I think it's essentially about how there's no such thing as having the same experience over again. Like every single experience you have is new. And I'm not really sure what that means to me and why I wrote it, but I just think it's like an important thing that like to just know in life. Yeah, and I have no further elaboration. Number 12, I like pizza. I want to eat more pizza. That's the entire quote. This quote relates to, well, there was this, it was from a meme I saw actually, and there's someone just saying, I struggle with like, you know, living and I don't know why I want to live. And then someone replied this, you know, I like pizza, I want to eat more pizza. It's so simple, but so elegant, because sometimes there's, you know, not sometimes, when you're thinking about, you know, those depressive thoughts and suicide, it's very easy for your brain to get overwhelmed with so many different emotions, and it's hard for you to find like a solid reason to keep going, right? But something as simple as I like pizza, I want to eat more pizza. It's like, yeah, like for me especially it resonates because I just like food, and it's like, oh, you know, like when I die, you know, I won't get to enjoy the food that I like enjoying, and that would suck, you know, like all things else if they go shit, like if I could just eat some food, like life's not so bad, you know, like and yeah, that's why I like that quote. It's a great quote, and I'm sure for different people this will apply in different ways. So maybe if you really like, I don't know, playing hockey, then, you know, it's as simple as like, if you like hockey, you want to keep playing hockey, and that's reason enough to keep going, I think. Yeah, just think about, like, you know, if you're struggling with those kinds of thoughts, think about like very simple, basic things that like you do in your day that you just genuinely enjoy. Maybe it's like watching a show. For me also, I love cold water. I'm gonna keep drinking more cold water. And that's reason enough to keep going. Anyways, now we're on to the last one. Number 13. How you spend your day is how you spend your life. I actually added this quote just today, after my friend sent me a post talking about it, sort of. Well, the post was talking about how, like, a lot of people live their life thinking that tomorrow they'll make a change, that, you know, like, or like later they'll make a change. They'll be stuck in like some job that they hate or a relationship that they don't like, and they don't break up with them because like now's not the right time. They don't leave the job because like now's not the right time. And you can get stuck in that loop for years, you know, years, and then you look back and you think, I really spent my entire life being in this situation that I didn't want to be in. And obviously there's nuance to it, but you know, like some people can't leave a job because people are relying on them, and yeah. But in general, it's you should try to, you know, do the things you want to do, make the changes that you want to make, and yeah. Anyways, how you spend your day is how you spend your life. For example, this winter break, yeah, this winter break I've kind of been like rotting, and like, and I saw like, oh, when I get back, like I'll like, you know, bring my life back around. But it's, and that is like slightly different because it is very much like I know I'll get back, and I'm like, I just know I'll bounce back. But how I spend my day is how I spend my life, and so even in days like this, I should still try and exercise. I should still try and do the things I enjoy. I should still try and work towards whatever goals I have. Hence this video as well. And I feel like there's definitely more I have to say on this, but my brain is blanking right now. It's just like, try not to have this mindset of I'll do this later because I'm too busy with something right now. Just try to spend as much time of your day doing things you want to do, or working towards whatever you want to work towards, and enjoying the process as well. Again, how you spend your days, how you spend your life. Don't get into this repeated cycle of like, tomorrow I'll do this, you know, oh, I really want to do this, I don't know, like I want to learn this skill, but I'm too busy right now. You could die tomorrow, you could die today, and I think people like hear that, but no one, it's hard to process that. It's truly hard to process that we are just like fragile creatures that can just leave this plane of existence at any time. And yeah, you genuinely do, you know, hashtag YOLO, you only live once. So try to spend it doing the things that you enjoy doing. You know, I would like to add like another rule. I just like thought of something right now after I said YOLO. Don't really know how to phrase this, but it's just about being cringe, doing things that are probably embarrassing, and making a fool of yourself. Wow, I say a lot. Anyways, try to be yourself, and try not to let the judgment of other people affect you. Like, as I'm making this and as I'm recording this, I'm kind of cringing at myself right now, and I think, wow, someone else might watch this and like think that I'm cringy. But honestly, like, shit, like if you made it this far, like you watched 23 minutes of me just talking, thanks. If you think I'm cringy, still appreciate you coming this far. Okay, I think that's it. I rambled for long enough. I should probably get back to studying. Yeah, again, you made it this far. Thank you. Leave a comment down below. I read all the comments, mainly because there's like maybe 2 per video, but I do like hearing people's thoughts on what I have to say, and having kind of a conversation, you know? Okay, enough rambling. Bye.